Just as psychic powers can run in some families, and childhood traumas run in some families, so do twin flames run in some families. Childhood trauma, family trauma, is something that we quite often ignore in twin flame dynamics of runner-chaser. We talk about the grand scope, and we use big words to describe the very infancy of trauma from this particular incarnation in the 21st century, 20th century, to past lives going back thousands of years. For us to actually be in union, we have to go into the very shadows, into the very bowels of the things we fear the most. We have to be ruthlessly, cunningly, transparently excavating every bone in the catacombs of our pasts. And then we have to be compassionate. We have to draw in our little boy or little girl into our arms and let them know that they are good, that they have always been good, and that they never deserved any of it, and that we believe them and we hear them, and we shall always advocate for them and protect them in this life, past lives, concurrent incarnations, and future incarnations on this dimensions and higher dimensions across all timelines, all planets. Twin flame dynamics are incredibly diverse, complex, and yes, even though some of us can share similar experience like synchronicities, telepathy, numerology, and so on, and the list goes on and on, we have to understand that many times our own twins' trauma is reflected in our family dynamics in some aspect. And all we need do is ask higher powers and source to show us what we never could see before. I know for a fact that there are things 10 years ago you could not see, and now you wonder how you could not have seen what you now see. How could you have not known and accepted what was right in front of your nose for decades, and now it's effortless? Yes, you understand that. How could you not? And so when you ask and you shall receive is really where you need to go. You see, quite often the separation that you're experiencing has a lot to do with massive exploration, excavation that you are hesitating on. When my twin and I are together, I will do this and that. When my twin and I are in union, I can do this and that. What you fail to see is that the umbilical cord of you and your twin makes you inseparable from the giddy up. I don't care if there's runner chaser. I don't care if they're living with another man or woman. I don't care where they live in the world. I don't care if they've crossed over to the other side. You are inseparable. And the illusions that harm all of us into the dark night of the soul, when we are separated from our twin, and when we feel powerless without our twin. If my twin does X, Y, Z, I will be able to do my mission, is a normal excuse that we've all experienced. There's no shame in it. But it's bullshit. Because in the end, you realize soon enough, when you are in your power, that everything you've ever need to know, to do, is aligned within you, because you are your twin in a separate human body. And what's ironic is when you feed that power into yourself, you feed your twin, because you are linked by this umbilical cord. And this umbilical cord feeds everything back and forth. And so if your twin is in despair and ignorance and is ensconced in 3D, and you are in despair into the dark night of the soul, you're not going to get out of it. At some point, you're going to have to rise. At some point, you're going to have to choose you. Not to walk away from your twin, not to close the door, but to rise out of the ashes, out of the mud, out of the mire, out of this feeling of I'm not enough, into I am enough. because I am my twin and my twin is me. And what I do to bring us into 5D, my twin will eventually rise with me, because we are linked. We have been linked since the first time we took different bodies, and we will be linked forevermore. And that, my friend, is a transcendental surrender to the inevitable truth of your existence. I hope this helps. Sending much love on your journey. Namaste.